Hello there guys and welcome back to 100% Chelsea for my preview of the West Ham versus Chelsea game, which is obviously taking place on Monday night. So we've got a couple of days from now on until the game, as I usually do, starting off with our opposition. This time obviously West Ham United. They're in 9th right now on 33 points, and fair play to them for it, because if I remember correctly, I think they've had quite a bad start to the season, weren't they, in the relegation zone after like a few games. So fair play to them, and the last 5 games have actually been more than alright considering where they are in the league. They only lost 1 out of the last 5, which was a 4-0 home defeat against Manchester City. But they beat Middlesbrough 3-1 away. They also beat Southampton 3-1 away. They drew 2-0 against West Brom at home. And last week they drew 1-0 against away at Watford. So, not too bad. But obviously their main threat is Andy Carroll. Even though Michail Antonio is the top scorer, but he's suspended anyway for that game because he picked up 2 yellow cards against Watford last week. But even though Andy Carroll isn't their top scorer, against us, he's definitely their main threat. Because he's so good in the air. He's probably the only other player in the Premier League that could challenge Ibrahimovic for being the best header of the ball in the league. But he's missed the last couple of games, even though Slaven Bilic has said he's most likely going to be back for the Chelsea game, for the game against us. It's not 100%, but considering it's only a Monday and he's still I think he came back to training on Wednesday, did a few sessions on his own. But, maybe if the game was tomorrow, probably wouldn't start the game. But considering it's a Monday, he probably will. And we definitely have to watch out for that. At the last goal that we conceded, there wasn't the direct free kick against Burnley or a header in the league, was in 2016, 31st of January in 2016 against Stoke. It's a game that I was at. Last time we did conceded that wasn't a header or that free kick against Burnley. So sort out your defending against headers. We really have to look out for that. But yeah, talking about them, like how they line up. I've checked like the last 5 games. They usually play a 4-2-3-1. But last time we played them, obviously in the EFL Cup, when they knocked us out back in, when was it, September or something? They copied our 3-4-3, which we just started implementing at the time, just a couple of games before then. And obviously they beat us, so whether they will play the 3-4-3 again or whether they will stick to their 4-2-3-1 that they've been playing recently, I don't know. I really don't know. Coming to Antonio Conte's press conference, first of all, there was obviously this rumour going about Antonio Conte is leaving Chelsea, he's going to Inter Milan, they've offered him a massive contract, and he's so happy about it, and he wants to go there, and his family, they don't want to go to England, and it's all a bit shit, and this and that, and this and that. He's been obviously asked about it in the press conference, said he's personally seen no offer from Inter Milan. The situation is very clear with him. Him and the club, they want to work together now, and they want to work together in the future. They're building something important, and he said obviously it's an issue and a problem that his family is still living in Italy, and they obviously miss him, and obviously he misses them as well. But he's working on bringing them to England. I'm not 100% sure if he's got kids and if he does, how old they are. But he's apparently, according to him, he's working on bringing them to England, which would obviously sort the whole situation out again. But yeah, if any one of you believe that rumour about him going to Inter Milan, it's not happening. He's not going anywhere. Don't worry, calm down. It's all right. It's all right. Then he was obviously asked about that West Ham defeat that we conceded in the EFL Cup, the 2-1 defeat. And he said, we obviously have to make right on that result. And it wasn't a good result, but we're preparing very well, but again, for a very difficult game. He also said that we must pay great attention to Andy Carroll, but also the rest of their team. It's not like they've got, 10 other Muppets, running about. Lanzini is a good player. Okay, fair enough. Antonio isn't playing, but they've got decent players, so it's definitely not a team to underestimate. To be honest, you shouldn't underestimate any team in the Premier League, but yeah. He said we're preparing different solutions to limit the opposition threat, but obviously while doing that, you can't forget to play your style of football, to play your game. Then he was asked about Michy Batshuayi, because West Ham were interested in him last summer and were interested in him apparently again last January. He was asked whether he thinks Michy Batshuayi will stay at Chelsea, after the summer. He really didn't give an answer. He said it's about now. Now he's a Chelsea player. He's working hard. He's working well. And, we'll see what happens in the summer. He didn't give an answer. I'm not sure. I don't think he likes him very much because, he doesn't play a lot, does he? So, not too sure. Then he was asked about team news, and he said everyone is fit and available, but, and there is a but, Eden Hazard, who suffered a kick in training. He said he forgot who kicked him. Probably didn't, just didn't want to tell anyone. He said it's nothing serious, but he didn't actually specify whether he won't be or will be available for the game on Monday, whether that will mean start on the bench and play a few minutes, like 10, 15, 20 minutes, or whether he, can even start the game. Possibly he doesn't know, and the medical staff don't know yet. But he could miss the game as well. I'm really not sure. Obviously, we'd all rather have Hazard play, but it wouldn't be a big deal in my opinion if he didn't play. But yeah, then he was asked about whether he generally wants to stay longer than his 3-year contract at Chelsea. And he said it's definitely his hope to work for a long time at this club and win a lot of things with this club. So that's obviously good to hear. He said this season we're building for the right now, but even more so for the future. He said it's a transition at Chelsea this year, which if we're in transition now and we're right now at 10 points clear, 8 points if City win their game in hand, of everyone else, what are we going to do next year? We're going to win it by 20 points. Are we going to be champions by, February? Why not? I'd take it. But yeah, and then obviously the last thing he was asked about and talked about was obviously a couple of days ago, Victor Moses signed a new contract at Chelsea, keeping him at the club until 2021. All Conte said is that he definitely deserves this new contract. Wasn't anything gifted to him. Then he was asked when he sort of saw the potential in him to play him as a wing back, and he didn't really specify that. He only said good things about him. Obviously, great technique, great fitness, great desire and all of that. But he said he was very clear with Moses in pre-season already, and he told him you're staying with Chelsea for the whole season. And obviously Moses was happy. Conte is happy because it's working out well. So yeah, that's really that. It was really short press conference today. They were meant to start at 1:15. Came about probably 1:30, just before 1:30. And it was just a 10-minute press conference, if that. So it's a bit short. So that's why there's not so much. But yeah, obviously coming to our team and how I think we'll line up, there's not going to be any changes. If there's no injuries but Eden Hazard, it will stay exactly the same with Thibaut Courtois in goal, Gary Cahill, David Luiz and Cesar Spilicueta as the 3 defenders, and Victor Moses and Marcos Alonso as the 2 wing-backs. Actually, do I think Matic or Conte will start? Matic or Fabregas will start? I'm not sure. See, I'm not sure. I think, and I hope Fabregas will start. I can just as well imagine Matic starting again because it's an away game and stuff. But I just hope for Fabregas to start, so I'm going to put it in. Because, yeah, I hope for him to start, really. Next we've got Conte, obviously, and then the front 3, depending on if Hazard is fit or not. It'll obviously either be Hazard, Costa and Pedro, or Willian, Costa and Pedro. It's quite simple. But, yeah, talking about match prediction, I think just like against Swansea, just like in the last couple of games, I think we'll concede from a header. Probably from Andy Carroll, if not some other defender, Jose Font or Winston Reid or something. But I think that's going to happen. But I do think we will win. I'm going for a 2-1 victory. They're not doing too badly, even though their home record isn't so great either. But yeah, I'm going for a win. 2-1, 3-1. I'm going for 2-1. But I think we'll concede again from a silly header. But as long as you win, I don't really mind so much. But yeah, that's really it for me. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, please leave a thumbs up. Check out all our social media links, which are down in the description below. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and also Snapchat. We're very active on those. You don't want to miss out on any funny things that we do happen to post, or any informative things that we do happen to post. Just a quick thing. Most of you probably would have heard Fernando Torres picked up quite a terrible looking head injury last night. He seems to be alright. He's been discharged from hospital already. But yeah, just as an old Chelsea player, just want to say, get well soon, Nando, and hope to see you back on the pitch soon. But yeah, again, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. We massively do appreciate that. Click the button and you will be subscribed. But yeah, thank you guys for watching again. I keep repeating myself right now. I'm very much looking forward to the game on Monday, even though I hate Monday games because it's Friday. What am I going to do all weekend? But yeah, very much looking forward to it. Up to Chelsea. And I'll see you next time. Chelsea! Chelsea! Chelsea!